I am deeply aware of this great inheritance and of the duties and heavy responsibilities of sovereignty.
When the trunk of Tom Parker Bowles's private car suddenly sprang open right in the middle of Buckingham Palace, a dark secret exposed a breathless confrontation between King Charles III and Prince William. The absurd appearance of classified documents alongside personal handwritten letters bearing the name of the late Princess Diana did not merely ignite an alleged scheme of blatant abuse of position for personal gain. It also indirectly set ablaze a fury that had been smoldering for decades. Turmoil immediately engulfed the royal family as Queen Camilla was thrown into utter panic at the prospect of losing everything she had secured. The bitter warning from Prince William, together with King Charles III's seething frustration before the entire nation, pushed the credibility of the crown to the very edge of collapse. Will this brutal truth burn away the father and son relationship between King Charles III and Prince William? Or will the ghost of Diana's past be the very force that causes Queen Camilla's crown to slip from her grasp forever? According to internal sources cited by royal observers, an extraordinary incident reportedly took place when Tom Parker Bowles, Queen Camilla's son from a previous marriage, was unexpectedly discovered transporting an entire bundle of classified documents together with numerous personal handwritten letters belonging to the late Princess Diana inside the trunk of his own private car. According to reports circulated through media channels, this shocking affair erupted when his personal vehicle unexpectedly came under inspection. The moment the incident was leaked and exposed, leaving witnesses stunned, Tom Parker Bowles immediately offered an explanation intended to account for the presence of these sensitive materials. According to statements attributed to Mr. Tom and recorded by sources, a dealer specializing in rare historical documents had previously approached him. This individual was said to have handed over the entire collection of papers, confidential files, and private letters mentioned above, supposedly for research, connected to a new book project that he was preparing to undertake. However, according to assessments from analysts and the media, this explanation immediately encountered intense skepticism from both the public and royal observers because of how implausible it appeared. Based on the reported information available, Tom Parker Bowles is, after all, a professional food critic, and his entire publicly known career to date has been associated with reviewing restaurants, experiencing culinary culture, writing about food, and producing recipes for readers. For that very reason, the idea that nationally sensitive files concerning the internal affairs of the royal family, together with some of the late Princess Diana's most private and delicate written words, could somehow naturally end up in the hands of a food expert, as source material for a book, was regarded as a completely unreasonable scenario, unsupported by any credible basis, and unacceptable to anyone following the case. According to internal information, doubts surrounding Tom Parker Bowles's defense did not remain confined to public opinion outside the palace, but quickly spread into the closed corridors within it as well. The fact that a food critic had documents carrying the markings of national-level confidentiality stored in the trunk of his private car raised a series of questions about the authenticity of his true motives. Analytical reports pointed out that if the purpose had genuinely been nothing more than material for a publishing project, the manner in which documents of such high sensitivity were received and handled would run entirely contrary to ordinary security procedures. The inconsistencies in Tom's argument only led the media to raise further theories about the real origin of these files, as well as why they had surfaced at precisely such a sensitive moment for the royal family. According to several unofficial media reports, the seriousness of the matter lay not only in the absurdity of the explanation, but also in the very contents of the files that had allegedly been discovered. The handwritten letters of the late Princess Diana have always been an especially sensitive subject, capable of exerting a powerful impact on public perception and on internal relationships within Buckingham Palace. Tom Parker Bowles's strained defense involving a book project therefore only deepened suspicions among observers that unresolved shadows remained behind the appearance of this collection of documents. All attention was now focused on the circumstances surrounding the explosive discovery where the next details were about to emerge in an entirely unexpected sequence. So what exactly happened on the night of the royal banquet that led to the discovery of the secret documents inside Tom Parker Bowles's car trunk? According to internal reports revealed by royal observers, to fully understand the source of the incident, the sequence of events must be traced back to what happened the previous week. According to sources, Buckingham Palace at the time was immersed in the dazzling, solemn, and extraordinarily lavish atmosphere of a grand state banquet attended by a large gathering of world leaders and members of the international elite. According to media analysts, this was seen as a golden opportunity for King Charles III to reaffirm his position of supreme authority and the firm stability of the British royal family following his official accession to the throne. The press recorded images of King Charles III and Queen Camilla proudly walking hand in hand into the banquet hall beneath the admiring gazes of the guests. Also present at the event, Tom Parker Bowles appeared in immaculate, elegant attire. According to the seating arrangement, he was placed very close to King Charles III and was repeatedly seen conversing with government ministers in an extremely relaxed manner. Yet according to several leaked internal sources, even amid the formal atmosphere of the banquet, Tom repeatedly and quite brazenly brought up subjects such as eyeing prime positions and powerful offices within the structure of the royal household. According to media reports following the event, Prince William and Princess Catherine were also present in another part of the hall. Princess Catherine quickly drew the attention of the guests in an elegant and regal emerald green evening gown. However, according to accounts from sources close to the matter, in stark contrast to the lively and celebratory atmosphere surrounding him, Prince William appeared exceptionally tense. His facial expression and gaze clearly revealed seriousness, caution, and suspicion every time he looked in the direction of Tom Parker Bowles. According to the sequence of events recorded by internal sources, once the banquet officially came to an end and the guests gradually began to depart, King Charles III stepped outside alone into the palace courtyard to breathe in the cold London night air. As he walked, the king's eyes happened to fall upon Tom's black car parked nearby. What immediately stood out was that the rear trunk lid had been left slightly open rather than fully secured in accordance with normal security procedures. According to sources recounting the incident, curiosity prompted King Charles III to approach the vehicle and personally lift the trunk lid all the way open to inspect it. Beneath a dark cloth that appeared to have been hastily thrown over the contents, the king was stunned to see bundles of documents carefully tied with red string bearing official seals from government agencies. Most strikingly, according to descriptions from sources close to the incident, resting directly on top of the stack was a file marked with the deeply sensitive words printed in bold, Diana Confidential. According to reports describing the scene at that moment, while King Charles III was still in a state of shock, frozen, and unable to believe what he was seeing, Prince William quietly approached from behind. The instant the Prince of Wales's eyes fell upon the file bearing the name of his late mother, the entire expression on Prince William's face immediately shifted from initial disbelief into an eruption of fierce and absolute fury. According to royal observers, the atmosphere in the Buckingham Palace courtyard at that moment instantly descended into an eerie isolation and a level of tension so intense that it became suffocating. The appearance of a nationally classified file directly connected to the late Princess Diana inside the private car of Queen Camilla's son immediately transformed a dignified state banquet into the beginning of a severe internal crisis. Analytical reports suggested that the trunk lid being left partially open, whether by accident or by intention, had inadvertently exposed a sensitive truth directly before the head of the royal family and the heir to the throne. According to leaked internal accounts from staff members stationed in the palace courtyard that night, the change in Prince William's demeanor took place within only a few brief seconds. From the position of a prince strictly observing the rigid social protocols of the grand banquet, the stern and guarded look he had directed toward Tom Parker Bowles throughout the evening now turned into an uncontrollable burst of anger when confronted with the personal records and mementos of his late mother. Every ordinary boundary of social interaction was immediately swept aside by the seriousness of the file that had been discovered. Royal information channels further reported that King Charles III in that moment fell completely silent in the face of his son's reaction and the dangerous nature of the documents before them. The presence of government seals together with a wording indicating the highest degree of confidentiality attached to Princess Diana's name pushed the events of that evening past a point from which there could be no return. All attention now immediately shifted toward the direct confrontation that was about to unfold behind closed doors between members of the royal family. After the shocking discovery in the palace courtyard, just how tense did the emergency face-to-face confrontation between King Charles III, Prince William, and Tom Parker Bowles become? According to internal sources cited by royal observers immediately after the shocking discovery in the Buckingham Palace courtyard, King Charles III convened an emergency meeting behind closed doors and demanded that Tom Parker Bowles appear in person to provide an explanation. Leaked reports from media channels indicated that the atmosphere inside the meeting room became intensely strained as the king demanded a clear account. Faced with the heated questioning, King Charles III sternly pressed him. "How do you explain these classified documents appearing in the trunk of your car right here at a royal banquet?" In response to the king's question, Tom Parker Bowles appeared unsettled but continued to defend himself, claiming that an acquaintance in the rare document trade had informed him about confidential information concerning the late Princess Diana that was estimated to be worth millions of pounds. Tom explained, "Your Majesty, an acquaintance who deals in rare documents approached me and told me they possessed confidential files about Diana worth millions of pounds. At first, I did not believe it at all, but when I saw the genuine documents with my own eyes, I decided to take possession of them solely for the purpose of keeping them safe." However, according to reports documenting the course of the meeting, the moment he heard this, Prince William immediately dismissed the excuse of keeping them safe inside a car trunk at a highly secure royal event. The Prince of Wales questioned him with extraordinary severity, bluntly accusing Tom of lying about the book project explanation he had previously given. William angrily rejected the claim, keeping them safe. "You think dumping my mother's private letters and confidential files in the trunk of your personal car in the middle of a state banquet is keeping them safe? Stop lying about that ridiculous book project excuse." According to leaked information from royal observers, faced with Prince William's mounting pressure and fierce accusations against her son, Queen Camilla could no longer remain silent. She decided to stand up and defend Tom Parker Bowles directly in the meeting. Her intervention immediately placed King Charles III in an excruciating position, trapped between two sides. On one side, his biological son, whose fury over his late mother was entirely justified. And on the other, the family of his current wife, whom he had always made every effort to protect. According to descriptions from sources close to the situation, amid the suffocating atmosphere of confrontation, King Charles III took the file into his hands. With trembling fingers, Charles slowly opened one of the letters and began to read immediately, recognizing Diana's unmistakably familiar handwriting, the bitter words she herself had written during the darkest, most tortured and painful period of her life. Seeing the hesitation, uncertainty, and wavering attitude of his father standing before him, Prince William faced him with eyes blazing with anger and delivered a chilling declaration. "If you protect him, if you protect them again, you will lose me." According to media analysts, the declaration from Prince William was nothing less than a direct blow to King Charles III's inner turmoil. Seeing Princess Diana's handwriting from the most tragic years of her life brought back the full weight of the painful memories that the British royal family had always sought to conceal. The presence of those private letters in the hands of Queen Camilla's son was not merely a security breach. It represented a red line that struck directly at the limits of what the heir to the throne was prepared to endure. According to internal sources, Queen Camilla's decision to defend her son only caused the atmosphere inside the meeting room to become more distant and fractured than ever before. The direct confrontation between Prince William and Tom Parker Bowles exposed a wound between the two sides of the family that had never truly healed. William's words, "You will lose me," were regarded by observers as his most consequential warning to date, placing King Charles III before a choice with life-or-death implications for the future of the monarchy. According to unofficial reports, the emergency meeting ended in heavy silence, with King Charles III unable to deliver an immediate ruling. The fracture within the royal family had officially broken beyond the control of those involved. Following this fiery confrontation, all attention began turning toward what would happen next behind the doors of Queen Camilla's bedroom the following day. After the explosive confrontation behind closed doors, how did King Charles III's changing attitude push Queen Camilla into a state of panic the next day? According to leaked internal sources from royal observers, by the following day, Queen Camilla quickly realized that King Charles III's attitude toward her had completely changed. According to reports from media channels monitoring the palace, the familiar intimacy between the two had abruptly vanished, replaced by unmistakable coldness, silence, and distance on the king's part. Analysts described this sudden withdrawal from a husband who had always devoted himself to protecting her as an extraordinarily severe psychological blow. On top of that, knowing with certainty that Prince William had personally seen and read the deeply painful private letters of the late Princess Diana pushed Camilla into a state of absolute panic. According to sources close to the matter, the haunting prospect of the darker corners of the past being dug up again directly before the heir to the throne completely shattered the Queen's composure. According to leaked press information from inside the palace, unable to maintain her calm under such overwhelming pressure, Camilla immediately contacted Tom Parker Bowles. During the heated exchange, she berated her son as a fool whose thoughtless actions had ruined all the painstaking efforts she had made to build her image and royal standing over so many years. According to reports, Camilla angrily accused Tom's stupid mistake of leaving the file in his car trunk of effectively handing Prince William a powerful weapon with which to completely destroy her position within the royal family. She bitterly pointed out that her son's carelessness had inadvertently created a strategic trump card that could allow the Prince of Wales to overturn with ease everything she had sacrificed half a lifetime to achieve. According to leaked accounts from staff stationed around the palace grounds, surrounded by an overwhelming fear that the public and international media would once again turn against her, condemn her, and despise her as they had during the darkest years of the past, Queen Camilla could no longer control her emotions. She collapsed onto a stone bench in the silence of the grounds and began sobbing uncontrollably. Her emotional breakdown laid bare the full extent of her helplessness and panic in the face of a media and internal crisis poised to erupt at any moment. At the height of her bitterness, anguish, and utter despair, she reportedly uttered a deeply bitter sentence: "Diana won. Even in death, she still wins." According to royal observers, Queen Camilla's bitter words captured in full the shadow of the past that had always hung over both her marriage and her position at Buckingham Palace. Although she had officially assumed the title of Queen and stood beside King Charles III at major state occasions, the memory and legacy of Princess Diana remained an impenetrable fortress that she had never truly managed to overcome. The cruel reappearance of the classified files and handwritten letters demonstrated that Diana's influence remained entirely intact, powerful enough even now to shake Camilla's position in a single moment. According to internal analytical sources, the transformation in King Charles III's attitude was the crucial factor that drove Camilla into such extreme panic. The king's decision to distance himself and behave coldly revealed the deep inner turmoil and hurt within him after rereading the words written by his former wife. Charles's silence at this point was not merely the product of a struggle between competing family loyalties. It also served as an unspoken warning that his support for Camilla was beginning to waver in the face of Prince William's justified fury. Media reports further assessed that Camilla's panic extended far beyond the personal level and spread throughout her entire team of media advisors. The fear of a renewed wave of rejection from the British and international public had become more tangible than ever. With Diana's private letters now at the center of the dispute, the image Camilla had spent decades struggling to build stood on the verge of complete collapse. This deadlock placed the British royal family in an extraordinarily dangerous position, where every move that followed could lead to consequences impossible to predict. Faced with the suffocating silence inside Buckingham Palace, what shocking public move would Prince William and Princess Catherine make to defend the dignity of the late Princess Diana? According to leaked internal sources from royal observers, despite the fierce undercurrents raging within the palace, the British royal family and King Charles III initially chose to maintain absolute silence and issued no official response whatsoever to the media. According to press analysis, this traditional strategy of silence was intended to calm public opinion and conceal the crisis. However, unwilling to accept that disregard and cover-up, Prince William decided to take action himself. According to reports from international media outlets, the Prince of Wales, accompanied by Princess Catherine, deliberately stepped out in front of Kensington Palace, where rows of press cameras and reporters were already waiting in stunned anticipation. According to reports recorded directly from the scene standing before the public and the media, with an exceptionally resolute demeanor, Prince William delivered a forceful public statement. "I have recently discovered personal keepsakes belonging to my late mother, Princess Diana, hidden in a place where they should never have been. My mother's dignity will not be silenced, whether by this institution or by anyone else." The message was brief, yet carried devastating weight, immediately erupting into a global media earthquake. According to public opinion analysts, the heir to the throne's spontaneous speech triggered an unprecedented wave of powerful support. The general public and news organizations around the world overwhelmingly rallied behind Prince William, raising their voices in tribute to the legacy, image, and sacred memory of the late Princess Diana. According to leaked sources from within the palace advisory apparatus, realizing that the credibility of the crown and the British royal family was now at risk of complete collapse beneath the wave of public outrage, King Charles III made a decisive turning-point decision. The king resolved to deliver a live televised address to the entire nation, despite desperate pleas from Queen Camilla. According to psychological analyses, Camilla descended into extreme fear because she had always dreaded that King Charles III's public acknowledgement of the incident would officially elevate Princess Diana's standing above her forever in the hearts of the public and in royal history. According to images broadcast live across the country, appearing solemn and subdued in the throne room, King Charles III publicly acknowledged that the discovery of Princess Diana's private letters represented a grave failure that had caused deep pain to the family, particularly to Prince William. Speaking in a voice filled with bitterness and anguish, the king delivered a statement that shocked the entire nation. "Any failure to protect her memory is a burden that belongs to me alone. I ask for compassion, I ask for healing, and I hope my son can forgive me." According to royal observers, Prince William's decision to step forward publicly at Kensington Palace completely shattered the British royal family's long-standing rule of silence. The Prince of Wales's forceful declaration was intended not only to defend the honor of his late mother, but also to demonstrate that he would not submit to any attempt by the palace to suppress the truth. The overwhelming support William received from international public opinion created enormous pressure, forcing the head of the royal family to step into the light and confront the truth. Royal information channels further analyzed that King Charles III's speech from the throne room was regarded as one of the rarest and most shocking admissions of failure in the history of the modern royal family. The sight of the king humbling himself and asking his own son for compassion and forgiveness before the eyes of the entire public exposed the profound fractures within the royal family. Although the live address was delivered as an attempt to rescue the collapsing credibility of the monarchy, the consequences and reactions from all sides following this national message continued to push the crisis into an entirely new chapter. After King Charles III's apology sent shockwaves across the nation, how would the reactions of Prince William, Princess Catherine, and Queen Camilla shape the final outcome of the crisis? According to reports from international media observers, immediately after King Charles III's live address came to an end, public opinion and audiences around the world responded very positively to the king's sincerity and courage in openly acknowledging his mistakes. Media channels reported that the willingness of the head of the British royal family to humble himself, accept responsibility, and apologize to his son had to some extent helped ease the wave of public outrage. By contrast, according to leaked internal sources from the palace queen, Camilla fell into a state of complete emotional collapse. She bitterly felt that the entire foundation credibility and royal position she had spent decades persistently trying to build had now been shaken to its very roots. Analysts assessed that Charles's public acknowledgement of Diana's private letters had inadvertently pushed Camilla back into a position of weakness in the eyes of the public. According to leaked press information from Kensington Palace, while the entire world was discussing the national address, Prince William sat quietly in his study, listening to every word spoken by his father. The entire room was submerged in somber silence. The moment the television image faded to black, Princess Catherine walked over and gently asked whether he was willing to forgive his father after such a sincere apology. In response to his wife's question, Prince William merely turned toward her and answered in an exceptionally cold voice, "The truth has been spoken, but truth alone cannot heal." According to sources close to the events of that night, beneath the dim lighting of their private room, Princess Catherine quietly wrote in her personal diary about the deep concern she felt for her husband. In those private lines, she expressed her fear that the lingering flames of anger and the unresolved pain of the past surrounding his late mother would gradually consume William's mind and emotions. At the same time, Catherine reminded herself that the royal crown was in truth an immense burden weighed down by crushing pressure, rather than the prestigious reward so many people mistakenly believed it to be. According to the general assessment of royal analysts, the relentless media storm surrounding the car trunk scandal eventually began to subside, with time restoring an outward appearance of calm to Buckingham Palace. However, behind the polite smiles and carefully presented public appearances, the old wounds and deep fractures between King Charles III and Prince William remained completely unhealed. The rift between the reigning monarch and the heir to the throne continued to exist like a distance almost impossible to bridge, leaving unanswered a series of major questions about who had truly been behind the transfer of all those classified documents and private handwritten letters to Tom Parker Bowles. According to further assessments from internal sources, the cold reaction of Prince William demonstrated that this crisis had gone far beyond the boundaries of an ordinary document leak. The father and son relationship between King Charles III and William had once again been severely tested by the ghosts of the past. The public sympathy generated by the king's speech could not instantly erase the psychological wounds William had endured upon seeing his mother's personal keepsakes handled with such carelessness. According to reports from media outlets closely following the royal family, Princess Catherine's diary offered a truthful reflection of the hidden psychological turmoil experienced by those caught inside the crisis. The crown and royal power, after a succession of explosive incidents, continued to reveal their darker side as an immense pressure bearing down upon the shoulders of the next generation. Although palace officials made every effort to bring the matter to a close, the mystery surrounding the true origin of the Diana file found inside Tom Parker Bowles' car trunk remained a major unanswered question hanging over the monarchy, threatening the long-term stability of the dynasty in the future. How do you feel about the way each character handled the situation and the choices they made when confronted with the ghosts of the past in this story? In your opinion, what deeper meaning or lesson does this royal upheaval offer about family bonds, dignity, and the burden of power? Before you go, we'd just like to say thank you. Every story you watch here is the result of hours of research and careful storytelling. If you enjoyed today's video, we'd truly appreciate your like and subscription. We know it takes a few extra seconds on a TV remote, but your support helps us keep creating even more thoughtful, high-quality stories.